Good guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Muscle Lab. And today's topic that it was pretty highly requested by some of the followers on Instagram. A lot of people are struggling with the debate between volume versus frequency, right? So we're going to take a look at this today. If you are new to this channel, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more entertainment, more variety, more fitness advice. Yeah, guys, it's literally a whole mix of content that you'll find on this channel. But I have been involved with fitness for 6 to 7, was now 7 years now. A certified personal trainer, so I'm gonna assist most of you who have these types of questions, who might be just starting out in the gym. Those of you who are also more advanced, that would like to mix up your routine. You'd like to bring in some new exercises into your routine to shock your body into further growth. We're going to dive into all those topics on this channel, but today we are addressing the age-long question of volume versus frequency. Where is the balance? Do we go for more volume? Do we train more frequently? What do we do? And essentially that question depends on the following factors, and these are only just to name a few. There are a lot others, but essentially your sleep, PED use, diet, and intensity are the factors that we're going to be considering today. Right, guys, so throughout the years, when we start out in the gym, we're like, okay, we're going to train 6 days a week. We're going to keep that going for months on end without any break. And you quickly come to learn that your body actually requires more time to recover. So in terms of training frequency, I found, and most other people will agree with me, that the sweet spot is 4 to 5 days a week. It depends on what type of training you do. It depends on if you're bodybuilding training. It depends on if you're just a power lifter, CrossFit, endurance. But essentially, what most studies have shown, you guys are welcome to go and do your own research as well. 4 to 5 days a week is optimal, right, for your body to recover. Now, the first factor influencing that, or this whole question here, is sleep, right? If your sleep is trash, if you're not getting enough quality deep sleep per night, well, your body is not going to be able to recover adequately from those workouts, and that is going to affect the next workout, right? There's I found a whole lot of difference to when I get my 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep in. My workouts are fantastic the day after that. But if I get like 3 to 4 hours sleep in, well, they're absolutely trash. It also depends on what your body is used to. If you're used to sleeping, minimal hours, your body has kind of grown into that routine and can cope. But you're still placing that extra stress on your body, and by not allowing it to rest, really rest adequately during deep sleep. So I recommend at least 6 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night in order for you to kind of allow your body to let itself recover, to charge itself back up for your next session, right? PED use, obviously, I'm not a registered medical professional, so I won't be diving too much into that, but PEDs essentially do help you recover faster, okay? Also depends on what types of compounds you're using, but essentially an enhanced athlete will have a better ability to recover from a workout than an athlete that is not enhanced. That is obvious, right? But essentially, I'm not an expert in that field. Go and do your own research on that if you want in-depth content on that. But essentially, the whole point of the matter is that PEDs will help you recover. They will help you train more frequently. They will allow your body to take on more volume. Diet, another very, very important aspect, almost just as important as sleep, right? Diet. Are you getting in your complex carbs? Are you getting in your protein? Are you getting in your fats? Right? Hydration, micronutrients, right? All of those things, collagen, you need to take all of those things into account, right? A general guideline that most people tend to follow: 50 to 60. Your diet should be 50 to 60% carbs, around 30 to 40% protein, and 10 to 20% fats. That is just a rough estimate, guys. Each person's body is obviously different. Each person's body's nutritional needs is going to be different from the next one. But essentially, the whole point of the matter is that you at least need to be consuming enough calories in order to help your body recover. It depends on if you're bulking. It depends on if you're getting ready for a show. If you're getting ready for a show, obviously you're going to be cutting down on calories, right? That's just common sense. But if you're someone who's not interested in doing competitions and you just want to look good, well, your diet is obviously still important. You're going to have to eat in a caloric surplus, right? Meaning you need to consume more calories than your body needs for its daily activities, right? And obviously, there's a whole formula for that. There's you take it has to do with your length, it has to do with your body weight, your age, your gender. It has to do with how active you are, right? That is called the activity factor. But the whole point of the matter is, guys, keep your diet. Make sure you get your complex carbohydrates in around the time you are training. I always like to, an hour or 30 minutes before the training session, but preferably an hour, right? I like to have complex carbs like oats. Also, those found in fruits are also pretty good. And then after training, you have your carbs and your proteins, right? An hour each one of those, an hour before training, an hour after training, right? That is the sweet spot. Then lastly, intensity. How intense are your training sessions, right? I think Arnold said it best. Sitting on your phone and doing one set and then resting 5 minutes and texting, that is not training. That is not training. If you're really serious about progressing your body, if you're really serious about taking your body to the next level, well, you're gonna have to up your intensity. Now, the golden question today that we need to answer is, what is the ideal volume? What is the ideal frequency? I've already said about the frequency. I find that 4 to 5 days a week. There are people obviously that can do 6 days without any problems, but that will depend on your judgment. Use your judgment. Listen to your body. If your body is tired after the 6 days, you might want to incorporate an extra rest day and do a 5 day split instead of a 6 day split, right? But volume is the difficult part. Now, personally, I like to do 4 to 5 sets. Let's say if I'm training chest, I like to do, let's say, 5 to 6 exercises, 4 to 5 sets each, right? That is the typical estimate of my volume, right? But it will obviously depend, like, once again, it will depend on your body's ability to recover, it will depend on your diet, and it will depend on your sleep. But essentially, a good general guideline, I feel, is 5 exercises per body part, 4 to 5 sets of each exercise, intense focus sets, and that should be enough to initiate hypertrophy, initiate muscle protein synthesis, because you want to tear your muscle fibers. And remember that after each session, your muscle fibers get stronger and thicker, and they become harder to break, harder to tear, right? So you have to push your body that much further. Another thing that I do also recommend doing is normally following a program for 8 to 12 weeks. After that 12-week mark, it doesn't necessarily have to be 12 weeks, it can be 16, it can be 10, but essentially 12 weeks is a good indicator or a good place to kind of take that week off and then start with a new program or a new split. But that is it, guys. Volume versus frequency. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please subscribe for more fitness related tips, advice, and content. I will be seeing you in the next video.